What's happening? I'm Iron Man from the music group theLottory. Showtime Records. You know who I am and you know what I does. I represent them Los Angeles Lakers for life. Hence the banner to my side. Yes, so all you Mavs fans out there, Dallas Mavericks, they did get that win last night. But if you've seen any of my videos, it's not really about wins and losses. It's about how you play the game, but not really how you play the game. It's how you arose. I don't even know if that's a word. How you got to that win or how you got to that loss, and is that type of activity sustainable? Okay, here's a fun fact for you. 10 games, just throwing a fun fact out there for you. In those 10 games that Dennis Smith Jr. did not play, the Dallas Mavericks went 4-6. 4-6. Take that for whatever it is. 4-6. Not only that, the reason I'm not jumping up and down, I'm like, oh, you know, I try to say not too high, not too low. You want to stay on an even keel so that your emotions don't run amok. Okay, and I try to see for exactly what it is. But the Dallas Mavericks didn't win a road victory until last night. In the entire month of December, they didn't win a road game. You know, I'm like, why are you not pumping them up, man? We can go to the playoffs, win a championship. This is not the sign of a championship team. They didn't win a single road game in the month of December. They went the whole month. The last win was on November 28th. That's outrageous. That is not the sign of a ready-made championship caliber team right now. So that's why I was like, oh, let me try to see what I can do to put my GM hat on and see what we can do for in the future. I mean, starting next year. We can actually start it this year so we can get acquainted with the new players. But that's why I was looking in that direction, because they don't really have the earmarks of a championship quality team right now. Okay, now besides that, they had, as a matter of fact, they actually had a 2-16 record on the road, which was the worst road record in the entire NBA. Not the signs of a championship caliber team, but hey, they got that dub. Sometimes when you're struggling or when you play bad teams or teams that are struggling as well, you just got to get that win, and they did that. Some good things about the game. Jmvol came in and played fairly well. Brunson came in and played fairly well. Dorian Finney-Smith, they all played well off the bench. All three of those guys didn't shoot well at all, okay? But Jalen Brunson, I believe he had 4 assists and no turnovers. Jmvol had 6 assists and no turnovers. Dorian Finney-Smith, he filled the stat sheet. I think he had like 7 rebounds, about 3 assists, something like that. You know, so they didn't shoot well, but they did the other things. Okay, kudos to y'all. So I'm looking at things that we can build on for the future. Because even with these trades I have playing for them, I expect these guys to still be a part of the team, you know, building on for now and in the future. Then we've got the boy, the captain, Dirk. Dirk has been coming in these last few games, coming in by 7 to 10 minutes, knocking down a high percentage of shots, getting a few buckets, and then stabbing out. That's exactly what you got to do, because we don't want to play him extended minutes because he has trouble moving on the floor, but he has been moving a lot better. In these concerted 7 to 10 minutes, he gives it his all. Then he goes and sits down and roots on the team. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that at all. Way to go, Dirk. Continues to shoot well in limited minutes of play. Okay, we want to see if the rest of their play was sustainable. They were playing the Charlotte Hornets, and basically they didn't even play them a whole game. They beat them in the first quarter. They came out and they hit like a record 10 3-pointers in the first quarter. That's amazing. That is fantastic. Those are Golden State Splash Brother type numbers, but those numbers are not likely sustainable, so I don't want to jump up and down about that, but they did use that to get the win. They just basically blew them out in the first quarter. It was like they were up by like 16 or something, like scored like 42 points. I mean, that's just outrageous. And they quit. Them Charlotte Hornets, they quit on the team. They just quit. And it was like, oh man, y'all bigs, we can't stop y'all at all. And it just continued to snowball into that second quarter. I think they only scored like 15 points. So I'm not really worried about the Charlotte Hornets. We're just worried about what the Dallas Mavericks did and see what they did in the game that's sustainable, not sustainable, what we can think about and expect in the future. So we can expect them to hit 10 3-pointers every first quarter, but at least they were knocking down some shots. Now this was what, matter of fact, they knocked them down at a 40% clip, which is right on the money. You shooting at 37 to 40%. You got the green light to shoot anytime you want to, and they did that. While the Charlotte Hornets only shot like 19% from 3. Can't win any games anywhere on any level shooting like that. So let's just move on. Don't even want to talk about the Charlotte Hornets anymore. Here's where we have the problem. Even in the midst of a record-setting first quarter where they blew out their opponent who gave up, we had some continuous poor spots in the game. Starting with DeAndre Jordan, even in the midst of a blowout, I believe he only scored like 8 points. That is a problem, and it is a trend. He is 8 to 12 points, 8 to 11 points. That's just not enough for playing 30-something minutes a game. It's just not enough, and it crowds up the paint for Luka Doncic and anybody else who wants to drive in and work their Luka magic. So it's a serious problem with that. And the man only had 1 block. Once again, he only had 1 block. You're 6'10", you're not expected to be crossing people over, doing step backs. You've got to do something more than just rim running, catching alley-oops, and stealing rebounds from everybody else. It's outrageous, and you're getting paid $23 million. It's super ridiculous. Got to get rid of that guy. Got to get rid of him. There's no doubt about it. Got to get rid of that guy. He continues to play like his trash brothers that are on the team. This guy Wesley Matthews in a record-setting 3-point shooting first quarter. This guy, a shooting guard. He went 1 for 5 from 3. This guy went 1 for 5 from 3. Only scored like 11 points. I think he had like 3 rebounds or 4. Listen. Would get rid of him if there were any takers. Oh man, but no one wants that type of low production from a shooting guard. Oh my God, trash. He continues to be trash. No matter how the rest of the team is doing, he continues to be trash. He is a trash brother. Then you've got Harrison Barnes. I told you, all he does is he shoots a high percentage, and then he goes a game and he shoots a low percentage. High percentage, low percentage. If he shoots a high percentage, sometimes he can score 18, 22 points. I'm like, oh man, he's really doing it. Then when he shoots a low percentage, it's 10 points, 13 points or something like that. And that was the kind of night that he had today, well, last night. This guy right here had a shot a very low percentage, like 33, 35%, some crazy low number for anybody who's going to be shooting the ball. Harrison Barnes had 4 rebounds and 1 assist for like 17 points. 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Again, those are trash numbers. This is not just a trend. This is the norm. This is what these guys are that are who we thought they were. They're not going to improve. They're not going to get any better. And he's making like $24 million. And he's got an opt-in for next year for like $25 million. Got to get rid of this guy. You've got to get him off the books and get somebody else who can gel much, much better with Luka Doncic as the future of the team. The Mavs take on the Hornets, trying to get a win streak going. Luka Doncic is in his warm-ups because he knew he was going to be hot for the game, along with all the rest of the Mavs. Dennis Smith Jr. with a triple outside. Then he's creating, passing to Doncic, who's playing off the ball, and that stroke is on fire. He can also create from the forward position. That's why it's so good to have Dennis Smith Jr. go ahead and play the point. And J.J. Barea comes up shooting off the bench as usual, even though he did get more involved with the teammates. Oh, Dirk, the legend, with the sidestep and the splash. And then the alley-oop to Finney Smith. Throw it down, big fella. At this point, the Mavericks have blown out the Hornets. Oh, and look at the post move from Doncic. The Wonder Kid can do it all. And they look nice and so pretty. Look at this. Luka Doncic passes it. Oh, DeAndre Jordan, if he can do anything, he can throw it down with the best of them. They're just having fun right now. Oh, look at the create. Look at the pass. And oh, throw it down. DeAndre Jordan, throw it down. Dwight Powell. Yes, the standing ovation from the wonderful Hornets crowd. Speaking of Luka Doncic, he had 18 points, 10 big-time rebounds, 4 assists, and only 2 turnovers. Now that type of production is sustainable, and that can propel the team to doing bigger and greater things because he's keeping possession of the ball. Only 2 turnovers. The same thing with Dennis Smith Jr. He had Luka Doncic shot about 40-something, 46%. No, that was about 43%, which is very low, but he was doing the other things to win the game. Not only that, he played more off the ball and allowed Dennis Smith Jr. to play on the ball. I believe Dennis Smith Jr. had also 18 points, but he shot like 60-something% from the field. Again, he's playing very, very well. He had like 7 assists and only 2, count them, 2 turnovers. 7 assists, 2 turnovers. That's more than a 3-to-1 ratio. Congratulations for Dennis Smith Jr. I knew he could be awesome with Luka Doncic, but as a team, they have limited assets to make their team better. And just to make it a nice, clean breakup and split, they should use him as part of this trade plan that I've got laid out for y'all, you know, to make the team a little bit better so they can truly build around Luka Doncic and we can see what that guy can do. Now, you've already seen what I can do. If you appreciate it as much as I appreciate you guys' support, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you learn it every time there's a brand new video. I'm Ironman from the music group The Lottery, Showtime Records. Holla.